one thing that nobody tells you until you actually experience it, and this is as you get older, there's some of the most envious people in your life. It could be strangers, it could be your family members, it could be your coworkers, it could be your friends, and you wouldn't even know it. Usually maybe they might be the ones that smile when you really succeed, but internally they're just burning inside because they wanted that for them and not for you. But they won't tell you that. You're just gonna see it visually. So I'm gonna tell you guys how envy usually shows up, what to look out for, and how to avoid it if possible. So envy is rarely direct. It's never just gonna be like hitting you in the face. It's never just gonna be that person telling you how it is or how they feel at that moment, whatever you tell them. Most people are never gonna say, hey, I'm jealous. Instead, it's gonna be more to themselves and kind of coded in like their behavior, their demeanor, and how the way they're presenting basically to you. It would be, one, they're gonna downplay your wins. Example, let's say you lose a ton of weight over the past summer and you lose maybe like 30, 40 pounds. You look great, you feel amazing, you're lean, you're muscular, for the guys, for the girls, you have a nice figure to you. Everything looks better, everything about you, your confidence is growing, your happiness is growing, and your muscles are definitely growing. But now they come back, when they see you, they notice that dramatic change in you, but the difference is, instead of complimenting you, they'll say something like, yeah, but let's see you keep it off. That's some of the most common things you might hear. Or another example, you get a promotion at work, and this is a promotion you've been leading up to that you've been wanting for the past 5 to 10 years because that's how long you've been at your job, and you work hard, you know you work hard, your boss tells you work hard, some of your coworkers tell you work hard, and then the minute you tell whoever it is you want to tell, being your friend, your family, they respond back to you, it must be nice. As if you didn't work hard yourself, as if you didn't put in the effort day in and day out. That's definitely not one of the best feelings, but that is where envy can possibly happen. Another one is lack of enthusiasm or silence. And let's say you're starting your own business, whether it's in real estate, the food industry, the pet industry, creative industry, maybe you're a new up and coming artist, whatever it is, they see that in you, or maybe you tell that to them. And the minute they see that in you, probably either go quiet or they'll just be silent, or they'll say something ridiculous like, be careful, most people fail. When in actuality, most people fail anyway. Sometimes it's passive aggressive jokes that you don't like to hear, that nobody wants to hear. So example, let's say you're making a good amount of money and they know that you make more money than them. They'll say something ridiculous like, how's the millionaire life going? Or how's the CEO life going? Meanwhile, you make more than them, but you're not at that point. Then you have backhanded compliments. Let's say you're starting to look lean and toned now. Now they give you compliments like, go eat a burger or something, when you're already in shape and you were doing it for yourself in the first place. Another one is whatever you tell them, something special that happened to you. Maybe you get a new car, a new house, a new product, you get new shoes, a new relationship. Sometimes they'll end up like eye rolling, or they'll just say very dismissive, and you'll see that immediate reaction as soon as you tell them what you want to tell them. Example, let's say you talk about your goals and your life goals, and then they roll their eyes kind of like slowly in a way so they don't intend for you to see it, or they just automatically do it and they don't realize that you notice it. Then they might come and say, you always think you're better than us. Meanwhile, you were just doing this for you at the end of the day, right? Those are all just quiet, subtle reactions, but they're there. Most of the time, those individuals, those friends and families that you think you're close to, or strangers, aren't really close to. They'll support you privately, but publicly, they will never bat an eye at you. You know why? Because the way you grow makes them feel extremely uncomfortable, and they probably don't think you could do it at the end of the day. So there's a difference between envy coming from strangers and then people you know, care about. When it comes from strangers, it's easy to ignore, right? It doesn't really affect you, doesn't touch you, because at the end of the day, you don't know who they are, what they do for a living, you don't know where they live. So it's not gonna have any real detrimental effect on you, physically or mentally. But when it's people that you know, that you have some type of relationship, it hits a little different. You know why? Because some of those people you actually want to grow with, some of those people you really didn't, and you kind of just are doing it for yourself, and they're just there because you don't have a choice and they're part of your family or friend group. That is definitely one of the most common things. And some signs to watch for, especially as you get older, because this is gonna keep happening to you more and more often, especially the better you do for yourself. They're gonna support you privately, not publicly. Say something like, hey, yo, I'm really proud of you, but I really can't review you. I really can't like what you like. I really can't show up to your art show. I really can't show up to your business and review it. It's really just conditional approval, but you won't notice that. The worst part is they're there when you're struggling, not when you actually win. And that's one of the most deceitful and most disgusting things, actually. A lot of people do this. They always check up on you when you're down, and they love the fact that you're down because they get off on that. And then the minute you get out of your funk and you start doing well for yourself, you won't hear from them for a while. It's only until you reach out to them. Next, they might copy your business move, your content, your outfit, your personality, your car, your house, your food recipes without without giving you any credit. And with those situations, they'll pretend that they thought of it first, and then the minute you bring it up, they'll just think that they did it at the same time as you, or they'll just make up another excuse as if they did it first. And they didn't watch you. Like, not everybody's immune to envy. Sometimes you do it too, but you don't realize it. Even those close relationships aren't immune to that, I promise you. And from those particular people that give you that non-support and they criticize you more, or they create some type of avoidance after you share the good news, those probably aren't close in the first place. Coworkers could do the same thing, and they might undermine you. They might undermine the ideas, the creative, good ideas that you give, or they might withhold the praise that whatever you did or whatever you thought of first that was a good idea. They're gonna withhold that and not even gonna compliment you or give you something significant as saying like, hey man, I thought that was a really good idea. They will never do that for you. And then you'll also have social media where some people will like your stuff. Some people will send hateful comments. There's no intended consequences for them. They feel free to say whatever they want. So envy can show up in any different scenario, which way possible. These are ways how you can protect yourself from the envy. One, you trust your gut. Whenever you have a conversation with somebody, this goes with anybody, a relationship, a future relationship, best friend, you don't even realize this, a future good coworker that you want to be friends with in the future. Someone's reaction kind of feels off or their words don't really match their body. You need to pay attention because a lot of the times that's really envy. You just don't realize it. Another thing is to notice certain specific patterns. So on-off behaviors can be very misleading for most people. The way you would kind of notice it is through repeated criticism, avoidance, or just those passive-aggressive comments are just strong indicators whether they're being envious of you or not. And the last thing is really kind of to stay grounded because envy is not really about you. It's about the other person's insecurity. It's not your worth or has anything to do with your achievements in life because you're probably doing well for yourself. You don't need to cut off everybody when it comes to envy or else you're just going to end up lonely. But it's very apparent that you do need to set boundaries because a lot of people will always envy you, not because of what you have, but because of what you're becoming and who the person you're becoming with and that they can't do it for themselves. The most important part is that you protect that mental peace inside of you because that's going to trickle down to every single little factor that you do later in life. And recognizing envy early helps you immensely. It's going to help you keep safe with your well-being and your relationships in the future and in the present moment. But the key is to notice it, admit it if it comes from other people, and just not to let it control your life. Use it as a clue to focus really on your own path, not as a reason to really feel bad for yourself because envy is going to happen at the end of the day all the time.